Why is it that racism is a bigger problem now that it's illegal and socially unpopular to be a racist? Why is it that colonialism is a bigger problem now that none of the colonial empires exist? Why is it that the Holocaust and the Nazis are a bigger problem now the further we get away from them? Why is it that slavery is a much bigger problem now the further we get away from that? The answer is because none of these things are real problems, and therefore they can't be solved. Instead, the hunt for these things can go on and on and on without end. A hunt that most people think is weird and annoying, but not something that will affect them. After all, most people can honestly say that they don't support any of these things. So here are issues that don't exist, but that most people can support fighting against because it doesn't affect them. But of course, the issue is never the issue. The issue is always about the revolution, and the revolution is always about the destruction of Western civilization. So these problems are used just as an acid would be used, to disfigure and to frighten people into doing whatever the acid thrower wants. Let's face it, the Portuguese Empire was the last, and it ended in 1975. So even the youngest imperialist is in his 60s. World War II ended in 1945. So if you were a 12-year-old Hitler Youth fighter, then today you're 87. The last slave in a Western country was freed in 1888 in Brazil. So the last infant slave owner would now be 132. The last slave in the English-speaking world was freed in December 1865. So the youngest English-speaking slave owner would now be 155 years old. How many 155-year-olds do you know of? Why are these things a problem now? Why not 20 years ago or 20 years in the future? Because we've given too much power to women as a group. Women have many virtues, but they also have flaws. Flaws that in the past men and women knew about. And that is why in so many books from the past you will see warnings about giving women power. The Bible is famous for this. For women's emotions are much more important than logic. What we are living through is all about emotion. How do people feel about things? People are not being asked to reason, nor are they being asked to use logic. Instead, they are being told to agree with the group. I'm not saying that men are blameless, far from it. Men have allowed, encouraged, and have gone along with this. If men had put their foot down, then none of this would be happening or would even be able to happen. When women think that they are strong and men behave as weaklings, then this is what we get. Only when men regain what we have lost, let's be honest, what we have given away, can this problem be fixed. There is no solution to this problem with a possible exception of exhaustion. Until logic is restored by men, until masculine strength is restored by men, until strength of character is restored by men, there is no stopping this monster.